Hello and welcome to Strong Flow. I'm Megan with InMotion Yoga, and I've designed this 30-minute preview sequence to give you a little taste of the types of practices, the types of movements that are offered in my upcoming in-person and online Strong Flow programs. I've designed Strong Flow for a very specific reason, to combine everything that you love about your flow yoga classes, meaning the mind-body connection, the flowing movements that are linked with the breath, we all love that, with everything that you need to get stronger physically, because this is also a really important piece of our movement practice. And I know that you're busy and I want to help you get the most out of your time on the mat. So we're going to move and breathe together for about 30 minutes. All you need for this practice is a mat, optionally. If you don't have a mat, just make sure you have a safe surface where you won't slide around too much. Additionally, we're going to be using our mini resistance bands. So you'll want to have maybe 2 or 3 different weights, something a little lighter, medium, and heavy. Make sure that your bands are in good condition, no tears or rips. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start by coming to the top of our mat in a mountain pose. Little softness in the knees, broaden the collarbones. You're welcome to keep your hands by your sides or bring them to your heart. If it feels safe for you, maybe you close down your eyes. And I invite everyone to just take a moment here to arrive in your practice. Although it's a physical practice and we're going to be doing some exercises to strengthen the body, it is still a mind-body practice, and I want you to move with intention. I want you to move in a way that suits your body. If there's anything that I suggest that doesn't feel good for you, please know that you can take another option. You can opt out, or you can do whatever movement was last feeling good for you. And being strong doesn't always mean doing the hardest movements, working up the biggest sweat, doing the most challenging practices. Sometimes being strong is simply being brave enough to say, to see something and say, that's not for me today. Start to connect with the breath here. Breathing in gently through the nose, exhaling through the nose. And as you arrive, as you set your intention for this practice, I want you to think about one thing that makes you feel strong. What makes you feel your strongest, most confident you? Think of that, capture that, and hang on to it as we move through our practice. On your next breath, reach your arms all the way up in the air. When they come to the top, I want you to start to press 4 corners of the hands together as you lower. So you're bringing the hands back down to prayer as you also add a little bit of a stretch for the wrists. So we're bringing the wrist to a 90-degree angle. Release. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower down, pushing the palms firmly together. Beautiful. Inhale, reach all the way up. Palms together. Let's do that one more time. All the way up. Slowly press the palms really firmly together. Let's pause here. This time, let's interlace the fingers, keeping the heels of the hands together. Take a little bit of a figure 8 with those interlaced hands. Waking up the wrists for movement. So important to work on and warm up our wrists in vinyasa style practices because they do so much for us in the type of movement that we're doing. We spend a lot of time in down dog, in plank pose, a lot of positions where the wrist is at a 90-degree angle. So we want to prepare ourselves for that. With your next exhalation, release, maybe give the hands a little shake. Now, from your strong, sturdy mountain pose, feet hip-width distance, start to shift a little bit of your weight into your right foot. Left foot floats up, bring the knee to hip height. Maybe here you circle out the ankle, waking up the feet for the movement that we're about to do. And then we're going to start to take some hip circles. So as you breathe in, open the hip out to the side. So sending your knee to the left side of the room. And then you're going to kind of take your foot back behind you as you take the leg behind you. Bring the knee forward and repeat. So we inhale to reach out, press the heel back, circle all the way back around. Moving with your own breaths, really stabilizing from the standing foot. And on your next breath, next time your foot is out behind you, drop it down onto the mat, come onto your back knee. Lunge forward. Beautiful. Take the hand down to the mat. Left hand touches the floor, right arm reaches up as you twist towards your bent knee. So good. On your exhale, release that hand. Breathe in to step back to a plank pose. It's a really strong, sturdy plank pose here. Shoulders over top of wrists, long line from crown of the head through heels of the feet. Now from here, let's step the left foot forward, ground down with the right hand, and reach up. So we're twisting once again towards the bent knee. Exhale to release, step back to plank. Inhale, right foot forward, revolve lunge. So we're warming up with some dynamic movement. Step back plank, one more time on the left side. Reach it up. Long line from hand to hand. Exhale, release. Step back to your plank. And then from here, lift the hips up high in the sky. Find your first downward facing dog of the practice, finding a really long spine, pulling the hips towards the ceiling, keeping a long flat back. And then slowly start to walk back up to the top of your mat. Fold forward. Push through the feet as you rise up. Coming back to the top of the mat, we'll repeat that on the second side. So this time, ground down through your left foot as your right leg floats up. Beautiful. Find your balance. And then we start to rotate the hip out. So we're opening to the side on the inhale. It's okay if you're a little bit wobbly. Pressing the heel back, and then on the exhale, bringing it forward to the starting position. And this can be as slow or as fast, as big or as small as you like. Checking in with your body here. Staying connected to the breath as you move. On your next breath, take that leg out behind you, step it all the way back, reach the arms up, release the right hand to the floor as you lift with the left. Exhale, both hands to the mat, step back, plank. Inhale, right foot steps forward, revolved lunge. Hand to the mat, step back, plank. Left foot comes forward, reach it up. Beautiful. Exhale, release. Step back to your plank, strongest plank yet. Push the mat away with the hands. Last time on the right side. Right foot steps forward. Left knee to the mat. Right arm reaches up long. With an exhale, let's release. And then come onto both hands and both knees. So we're coming to a tabletop position. And from here, I want you to wiggle the tailbone a little bit up and down, maybe even side to side, all around. Feeling what it's like to have it in different positions. And then I want you to come to the place that feels like the center. Maybe that means adding a little bit of upward pressure above the sacrum. Spread the fingertips wide, broaden the collarbones. If you're at neutral here, you should feel the abdominals engage. From here, spread the fingertips really wide, tuck the toes. Start to lift up off of the knees. So we're coming to a gentle hover, a few inches above the mat. Feel the abdominals engage even more. And then slowly start to lift the hips high in the sky with the knees bent. So coming into a really bent knee forward fold. Draw the belly towards the thighs as you lift the sit bones towards the sky. This is how long I want your spine to be in every down dog that you do. Now, keeping the back in its position, maybe you start to lengthen the backs of the legs. Beautiful. On your next inhalation, slowly walk the feet forward. Come up to the top of your mat. Exhale, fold. Relax the head and the neck. Bend the knees a little bit. With an inhale, push through the feet, engage the glutes, lift up halfway. Long spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, push through the feet even more, keeping the knees soft. Rise all the way up. Maybe you interlace your fingers, reach behind the back of the body. And with an exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands. Walk or step the feet back, finding a sturdy plank once again. This time from your plank, we're going to lower through chaturanga. So taking a big breath in at the top. On the exhale, bend the elbows, keeping them by the ribs as you lower. Feel that in your triceps? Pull the heart forward as you come onto tops of feet and push into the palms. Tuck the elbows back for cobra. And then we'll tuck the toes. Lift the hips high in the sky. Find downward facing. Beautiful. We'll repeat that one more time. Slowly walking or stepping forward. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, engage the glutes, push through the feet. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, push through the feet, engage the glutes. Even more until you rise all the way up. On your exhalation, take a bow forward. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold and plant the hands. Walk, step, or maybe you take a hop this time to the back of your mat. Breathe all the way in. Exhale, we lower down slow. Lower with control. Remember that chaturanga is a pose in and of itself. Flip the feet, push into the palms. Slide the pubic bone forward as you come into cobra, or option for upward facing dog. Beautiful. When you're ready, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Your breath carries you back into downward facing dog. With an inhalation, step your left foot forward to the outside of the hand. And then step your right foot forward. Sink the hips down between the knees, coming into Malasana, yogi squat. Pause here, find the breath. And then take the hands to the ankles. As you exhale, lift the sit bones. Relax the head. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, let's squat down. On the inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, squat. Inhale, lift. Moving with your own breath here. Pushing through the feet to lift. With your next breath, come back, settle back into your Malasana. Take your hands in front of you. Step back with the left foot. So you're finding yourself once again in a revolved lunge. And from here, come up off of the back knee, roll onto the outer edge of the back foot, and we'll step the front foot back to join it. So we're coming into a side plank position. And side plank can look like this, down on one knee, or you can stack the feet one on top of the other. If you're feeling really ambitious today, maybe you float one leg up. Wherever you are, you're reaching long with the hand, lifting high with the hips. Beautiful. When you're ready, let's release the top hand. Step the right foot forward. Firm foundation underfoot. Squeeze the legs together as you rise up, crescent lunge. Bend into the front knee. Relax the sides of the neck. Beautiful. Breathe all the way in. Exhale, release the hands. Step back plank. Breathe in, lower down. Push into the palms, pull the heart through. Up dog or cobra. Exhale, carries you back to down dog. On your next breath, let's step the right foot forward to the outside of the right hand. Ground down through the left, lift up, revolved lunge. Step your front foot back. So we're coming into side plank on the opposite side. Option for stacked feet, option to come onto a knee. You're still working just as hard if you modify. It's all about finding the version that works for you, being strong enough, being brave enough to take the option that suits you best. When you're ready, exhale to release the hand. Step your left foot forward. Firm foundation, rise all the way up. Relax the sides of the neck as you sink into the lunge, bending deep into the front knee. Find your balance, breathe. And then when you're ready, release the hands. Step back. And here, before we take our next flow, I want you to get your band ready. So I'm going to go with a little bit of a lighter band here. This one's a 2 out of 5. Bring it around the wrists. So onto the forearms, just above the wrists, just above your watch if you have one. And then I want you to pull the hands apart enough that there's some tension under the band. Come back into your plank. Nice long spine. Breathe in. On your exhale, lower down through chaturanga with the elbows close to you. Chest comes to the band. Let's press back up. Lower down, press back up. So we're doing sort of like banded chaturanga push-ups. Lower down, push back up. Last time lower, flip the feet. Pull the heart forward. Keep the tension under the band, drawing the wrists isometrically apart. And then tuck the toes. Lift the hips high in the sky. Downward facing dog, pushing evenly through both hands. On your next breath, take your right leg out behind you and then step it through. Coming into your crescent lunge, reach up. Take the band off of the wrists, bring it into the hands, and from here, while you're in your crescent lunge, while you're working those legs, we're going to do some lat pull downs. The lats are one area that we sometimes don't target a lot in traditional vinyasa yoga practices. So this is where we're using some extra tools to help you strengthen the entire body. So stay with the breath as you move. Breathe in deep. As you exhale, we're bringing tension under the band, drawing it slightly apart as you lower band down to the chest. Inhale, push up. Exhale, lower. Do that 8 more times for 10 reps total. Moving with your own breath. If you want a little bit more here, as you lower, you can bend into your back knee, working the legs a little bit more as well. Beautiful. Time under tension here, pulling the band apart as you lower. Maybe relaxing it slightly as you lift. Last one. Lower down, reach up. Now from here, maybe you give your legs a break. Maybe you come up to a little kickstand, and we're going to do some tricep extensions. So just like in your lat pull downs, you're starting up here, band under tension, arms long, relax the sides of the shoulders, and then start to bend at the elbow, taking the band down behind your head with that tension. Now, option to stay in your lunge or option to lift back up if the legs are getting tired. Yogi's choice. You set the difficulty here. We're going for 10. Just a few more. Beautiful. Last one. Reach up, release the band, and let's bring it back onto the wrists as we prepare to flow onto the second side. Come up to a modified Tadasana pose, reaching up, relaxing the sides of the neck, pushing through the feet, soft knees. Let's fold all the way forward. Push through the feet, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step the feet back. Find your plank. Now, option here to simply flow, or we can try 3 more chaturanga push-ups. Lowering the chest towards the band, tucking the elbows back, pressing up. Beautiful. Let's lower down last time. Flip the feet. Pull the heart through. Keep tension under the band. Tuck the toes. Lift the hips high in the sky. Find your down dog. Beautiful. Left leg reaches out behind you. Step it through. Once again, squeeze the legs together. Rise from a firm foundation. And then we'll take the band off the wrists, bring it to the hands. So it's kind of to the outside of the knuckles here. And while you're in your crescent lunge, we're adding the lat pull downs. So we're working those lats once again. Breathe in. As you exhale, pull the band further apart as you lower it down to chest height. Beautiful. So one movement per full breath. Breathing in as you release. Pulling down, time under tension as you exhale. 3 more, just like that. Again, option to bend into the back knee, adding a little bit of leg work here. A little bit more leg work, I should say. Beautiful. Last one, reach up. Let's unplug from your hinge. And we'll do those tricep extensions again on the second side. So keeping the arms really long here, relaxing the shoulders slightly down. Bring a little bit of tension under the band and then start to bend at the elbows. So you're keeping the elbows close together and just taking the arms back behind you. Maybe you come to a little bit of a split stance if that feels good. Keep pulling the band apart, pressing knuckles into band. Time under tension is how we get stronger with these tools. Last 2. Beautiful. Exhale to release. You can get rid of your band here. Maybe take a drink of water, towel off if you need. Keep the band close by. We'll need it again soon. Coming back to your mountain pose, let's rise all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift. Fold and plant the hands. Walk, step, or hop it back. Strong, sturdy plank. Exhaling as you lower. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Take your right leg out behind you. Right foot comes between the hands. Strong, firm foundation as you rise up. Beautiful. Bend deep into the front knee. Feel the strength, feel the power in your legs. Remember what makes you feel strong, what makes you feel confident. Hold on to that. And from your crescent lunge here, take your arms behind you. Start to bring the head of the arm bones forward. As you come up onto a kickstand with the back foot, start to lengthen through the standing leg. A little bend in the knee. Exhale, lower back into your lunge, reach the arms up, turn the tailbone down. Inhale, head of the arm bones reach forward, hover the belly over the thigh. Start to lengthen through the standing leg. Maybe your kickstand lifts a little bit higher this time. Back to lunge. One more time. Take the arms back behind you. Hollow out the belly over the thigh as you hinge forward. Foot comes to a kickstand. Maybe it lifts a little higher. And then we start to flex the foot, pushing out through the heel. Pulling the shoulder blades together on the back of the body as you reach along with the arms. So coming into a version of airplane. Feel the back of the body working here. Feel the standing leg supporting you. And use equal opposing energies. Push through the standing leg just as much as you kick out through the lifted foot. Now, if it serves you, another option here, if you want to work the back of the body a little bit more, the back of the body is another area that isn't always equally strengthened through yoga. We do a lot of front body. We don't do as much back body. So if you want to add a little bit more, maybe you pulse, lifting that heel behind you. If you're pulsing, you're keeping the low back flat. So you're keeping that hinge at the hip. Maybe you bring the hand onto the low back and the pulse is ever so slight. The smallest movements are sometimes the most challenging. Beautiful. For 2, for 3, for 1. On your exhale, let's release the back foot. Bring it out on a 90-degree angle, heel to arch stance. So we're coming into warrior 2. Bend deep into your front knee. Beautiful. Arms up at shoulder height. Take a moment here, breathe. On your inhale, drop your back hand, flip your palm, reach back, reverse warrior. Inhale, lift up warrior 2. Exhale, elbow to thigh. Left arm sweeps up and around, long line from hand to foot. Beautiful. Inhale, we lift. Re-engage with that knee bend. Let's drop the back hand, flip the palm. This time, straighten out the leg. Reach all the way back out of the hip. And then start to bend into your back leg, shifting on your opposite heel. So you're coming into Skandasana, which is a little bit like a single leg squat, if you think about it. So keep your knee tracking over your middle toes. An option to stay as you are, or option to do a few single leg squats, pushing through the foot, coming back up to center, and then lowering back down. So we inhale on the lift, we exhale on the lower. Beautiful. On your next breath, press back up. Plant your right foot. Turn your left foot. Step it in about halfway. So we're almost coming into what in yoga we would call a pyramid pose. But we're going to keep the knees really soft. I want you to bring your band underneath the center of your foot. So loop the band around the midfoot. Grab it with your opposite hand. Come to a hip hinge, so you're not rounding through your back, but you're hinging forward with a flat spine. You can have one hand on the low back to make sure you keep that position. And then we're going to do some bent over rows. Again, working the back of the body. So take a breath in. As you exhale, pull the elbow back, adding more tension under the band. Inhale, release. Back stays long and flat through the entire movement. It's the arm that's moving. It's the shoulder that's pulling back. Beautiful. Great job, yogis. Two more. When you're ready, exhale to release. Again, bring the band close by. Let's rise up. Fold forward. Halfway lift. Fold and plant. Walk, step, or hop the feet back. Take a plank. Breathe all the way in. Exhale, lower down. Push into the hands, push into the tops of feet. Pull the heart forward as you flow through. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Find yourself in downward facing dog. This time take your left leg out behind you, 3-legged down dog, and then step it through. So once again, coming to crescent lunge. Rise up, relax the sides of the neck. Bend deep into that front knee, and then start to hinge forward. Hollow out the belly over that front thigh as you reach the hands back. Shoulders forward. Straighten the leg, come to a little kickstand. Toe just touches the floor. Beautiful. Exhale into your crescent. Inhale, we come forward, lengthening the front leg, bringing crown of head, head of arm bones forward. Maybe you float your kickstand just a little bit higher. Exhale, release into the lunge. One more breath. Option is to just stay in your kickstand. If this feels like a lot for you today, maybe you're just here. But remember, you're hinging forward as much as you're lifting that back leg. So the upper body and the back leg move in time with one another. If it feels right for you today, you push through the standing leg, flex the heel, And maybe you even bring the body almost perpendicular to your mat. Sorry, almost parallel to your mat. Take the arms back behind you. Feel the back of the body. Embrace any wobbles. And if it serves you, maybe you pulse that lifted leg. Maybe you take a hand to the low back as you pulse to make sure you keep your form. Two or three more. When you're ready, let's land in a wide stance. Turn the back foot out at a 90. Heel to arch as front toes face the front of your mat. Bending the knee over the center toes. Arms come up to shoulder height. Strong warrior two stance. Come back to your breath. Come back to your intention. Come back to the strength within you. Let's drop the back hand, flip the palm, reach back, reverse warrior. Inhale, lift up, warrior two. Exhale, elbow to thigh. Right arm sweeps up and around this time. Long line from hand to hand as you stack shoulder on shoulder. Wrap the low ribs under. Inhale, pull yourself up, warrior two. Exhale, drop the back hand, flip the palm. This time, lengthen out of the front leg, reach all the way back out of the hip. Shift onto your heel of the front foot and start to sink back into that back leg, bending the knee, coming to Skandasana. Option for hands together, option to rest on the knee. When you're ready, option to stay as you are, option to press powerfully out of that right foot as you lift back up to center and then squat back down. If you're coming with me, two or three, just like that, pushing out of the foot. Engaging the glute as you lift up to center. Beautiful. Let's lift all the way up. Turn all 10 toes to face the front of your mat. Step the back foot in halfway. Soften the knees. Coming back to our bent over rows, second side. So take a medium or maybe a heavier loop. Loop it around the left foot. Grab it with the right hand. So a little bit of a split stance. Generous bend in the knee. Find a flat back, hinging forward, taking your opposite hand onto the low back to support you. Breathe in. As you exhale, you pull on that loop, drawing the elbow back behind you, keeping it close by the body. Inhale, release. Exhale, pull. Stay with the breath. Stay here in the body. Two or three more, exactly as you are. Beautiful. Exhale to release. Step your back foot in, bring it into the loop. Take a little fold forward. Shake the head out. Maybe you bend the knees. Wiggle side to side. Release something. And then bringing the feet hip-width distance apart. Take both hands to the center of your band and find that same flat back that you had in your airplane pose, same flat back you had in your bent over row. Maybe you change out your band for something heavier or something lighter, depending how it feels. And we're gonna practice some deadlifts. So banded deadlifts. Starting down here at the mid shin, engage the glutes and lengthen as you lift up. Again, keeping the back nice and flat. So we're not rounding as we lower down. We're moving the entire upper body as one unit to work the posterior. So we're lowering to mid shin. As you exhale, lift up. Almost coming to full extension. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Last one. Gently, slowly release the band. Take it off. Push through the feet. Engage the glutes. Rise all the way up. Exhale, take a bow. Take the feet a little bit wider. Sink down into your Malasana Yogi squat. Bring the hands together at the heart. Start to settle the breath if you're feeling a little bit winded. Check in with the temperature of the body. Let's bring the hands onto the mat. Step your left foot back. Reach your right arm up, twisted lunge. Release the hands to either sides of the feet as you shift your right foot to the center of the mat. Reach up, Anjaneyasana, low lunge, pressing the hips forward. Feeling a little bit of a stretch here. On your exhale, start to lengthen your front leg as you sink the hips back. Coming into what we sometimes call a runner's lunge. Flexing toes towards the nose. Option here to keep the hands on the floor as you release forward, or maybe you take the arms out behind you for a little bit more of an active runner's lunge. Beautiful. Inhale, let's press forward. Low lunge pose. Exhale, sink it back to runners. Let's take the hands in front of you. Send your right leg out long beside you. So you're on your left knee and the sole of your right foot. Toes pointing forward. Hands come down to the mat. Sort of like a modified table. Take your right arm, reach it up towards the sky. Twisting from mid-back. As you exhale, thread it under. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, thread it under. Thoracic rotation is one of those movements that we don't get enough of. And to keep a healthy spine, we need to move the spine in all different directions. Last time, reaching up. Exhale to release. Bring your right leg in. Send your left foot forward. Rise up. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. When you're ready, send the hips back. Lengthen through that front leg. Maybe flexing toes towards the nose. Maybe flexing more or less depending what you'd like to feel out of this stretch. Again, maybe you release the body down towards the leg, keeping the hands in front of you. Or maybe you keep the spine nice and long and reach the arms back behind you, drawing the shoulder blades together. Exhale, release. Inhale, press the hips forward, reach the arms up, low lunge. Send it back to runners just for a moment. Feel into that hamstring. And then take both hands in front of you. Send your left leg out beside you. And we'll lift the left arm up towards the sky. On your exhale, thread it under, twisting from mid-back. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist. Last one, moving with your own breath. Reach up. Come onto hands and knees. And take your knees slightly back as you lower down, coming onto the belly. Send your right arm out long. As you bring your left hand underneath of your left shoulder, start to roll over onto your right side. Using left hand for leverage, finding a bit of a stretch through the right shoulder, upper arm. If you'd like to open the chest even more, maybe you take the arm behind you. With your own exhalation, roll back onto the belly. Right hand comes in, left arm goes out, and we roll to the second side. Stacking legs or taking right leg behind the left. Keeping the shoulder low towards the ground to feel a deep stretch. Exhale, we roll onto the belly. And slowly make your way all the way over onto your back. Once you're on your back, bend your knees. Plant the soles of your feet. Lift your right leg up in the air. Flex the foot. And then bend into the knee, cross it over onto the opposite thigh. Send right knee away as you stretch the hip. Maybe you stay as you are, or maybe you reach for the left thigh and hug it in. As we start to wind down our physical practice, I invite you to tap into the mental aspect of the practice. What's happening in the mind? How can we steady the mind by using the breath? With an exhale, release the left foot back down onto the floor. Let both knees drop over to the left, maybe bringing sole of right foot onto the mat. When you're ready, lift back up on the inhale. Unravel on the exhale. Maybe just take a few movements side to side, shaking everything out. And then get grounded again on your mat. Reach your left leg up. Flex the foot. Cross it over the opposite thigh. Send the knee away. Option to stay exactly as you are. Option to reach for that right thigh and hug in. If you're doing that, you're still sending left knee away. On your next exhale, let the right foot float back down onto the mat. Gently drop both knees to the right side. Maybe you take your arms out wide in a twist. Connecting both shoulder blades to the mat. Feeling supported in your strength. Slowly lift back up. When you're ready, extend your legs out long. Make your way into your final resting pose, whatever that may look like for you today. Can be Shavasana, could be legs up the wall, could be simply taking a comfortable seat, allowing yourself these few moments to settle, to be still, to be quiet, to balance the energy from the effort that we've just put in. And as you rest, know that it takes just as much strength to be here and be still, although a different type of strength. It takes just as much strength to do this as it takes to do the challenging movements, the strength-building movements. Stay here as long as you like. And thank you so much for practicing with me. If you've enjoyed this movement, if you've enjoyed this practice, reach out and let me know. Namaste.